Hello, welcome to my latest vlog. Well, I'm back down on the quarry on Baden fisheries. I've got 24 hours. I've only just got here. It's absolutely freezing. So it said minus 1.5 on the way here. I think it's about 2 degrees at the moment. That winter weather's well coming in now. Start wrapping up. Like I said, only just got here, basically threw the bed down, threw the gear down and all that. It's get the rods sorted in a minute, find some spots there, out there. But I've actually managed to get in the same swim I was in for the 5-day session, which is good for the weekend. When I was looking on it, it was saying it was all fully booked when we got here though. More or less half of the lake was becoming available. So me and Keith, we decided on getting in 4 and 5 for that central area again. So what tactics I'm going to use on this one, I'm not going to go heavy with a bait. I'm going to fish more or less singles. There's going to be pop-ups, food bait pop-ups, and the eye visual one. What worked for me last time was I'm going to be fishing like 3-4 bait stringer on each rod. You can now fish 3 rods now. So I think I'm going to find an area out there, put 2 rods on that, out around the central area, and then I'll have a little feel around a bit closer in and see if I can find out there. So I'll leave it there for now. Like I said, I need to rig up, set up, find some spots, get a brew on, and take it from there. So thanks all again for tuning in. It's looking like I'm going to be knocking Monument 2 on the head. I've already booked it and we've paid a £30 deposit. But to be honest, I'd much rather be on here or on Glovers there. You know, it's less distance, but it's what makes you happier, innit? I don't know, I'm a lot happier fishing on here than I am on the Monument. It's a Monument. It's got its good points, like, you know, nice clean fishery and stuff. But it's what makes you happier. I'd like to be chasing these big £40 commons what's been around in here. To be honest, that's what it's all about. Self-enjoyment. So it's looking like we're going to try and book Glovers or here for 2 weeks time. So I'm sorry if people like tuning in to watch the editions that we do on the Monuments. Like I said, these diary pieces, they're all about my fishing, and this is where I'm happy. I'd rather concentrate now on this actual complex. I've got 2 waters that I really do like fishing, which is Glovers and the Quarry. I'd like to concentrate on here and Glovers basically, but for the rest of the autumn and the winter, and let's see if we can winkle one of them real big girls out. Like, I'm off the mark now. I've only had the one hour. I've had the 29.8 on the 5-day session. Keith's still on 2 fish and 2 fish lost. So we're just going to keep plugging away. We may nip somewhere different through the winter for a social with the friends. We may do. We was thinking of the new ones on the Bro, the Disney. So I'm going to do a session on there because a couple of friends went down a few weeks ago and said it's a real nice place, a really well run place and that. And it's just if I can prize myself away from here. If we're going to lose 30 quid each and come here, it says that we do want to be on here. So enough of me waffling on for now. I'll get my teeth in, get my rods out, settle down, and see what happens, and I'll be back on soon. So cheers for tuning in, and I'll catch you all in a bit. Well, welcome back. I've got 2 rods out now at range. On singles, I've not put no stringers on them. I've basically just put a food bait pop up, which is nutty type, and one of the peachy pinky hit and runs. Just a bit of PVA foam on it. I've set them up on the same rigs that I've been using for the last few sessions, which is the Gemini tidy booms on the Ronnie rig setup. But for my third setup, third rod, I'm going to go with a solid bag, and I'm not going too far out with this one. This is going to be a close in spot where I can just keep roaming around when I feel the need to. So basically my setup for that is just going to be a little wafter. This has been soaking for about 8 months in the isotonic goo, and a very short hook link with a size 6 crank. That's one of the Corda, whatever they're called. Keith gave me a couple of packets of these as he doesn't use them. Running it down to a 2.5 ounce lead, which is drop off style, onto a bit of tungsten tubing, using the rig so short as with that coiled up in the bag, as soon as that fish sucks it up, feels that point, it's going to be in contact with that lead. Bait wise, I'm just going to crush up about 10 boilies into a small PVA bag, only a baby about so big, not much bait. So basically that's the only rod that's going to be fishing over bait, so to say. But like I say, it's just going to be an handful of crushed boilie. Just see how it goes. I'll give it a squirt of this sherbet goo as well, just for that extra attraction. So I'll do, I'll get this in the bag now and get it out there, and sit back and just keep my eye on this water. I think probably roughly between 5 and 5:30 it'll be dark, so I've only got a few hours for to scope out this water. I'm actually in swim 4, if you remember from the 5-day session when I had the £29 8 common. Sorry if I've already mentioned this, but I'm back in that swim. I've already got a rod out in that area, which is still the same. It's nice and clean. It's still bringing bloodworm in. So I've got one rod on that, one rod just to the side of it. It's still on a clean spot, and there's bloodworm present there in that area as well. So every time I'm bringing the lead back off that spot, there's bloodworm attached to the lead, which is a good sign. So hence the single approach for that. There's already 3 offerings out there with the bloodworm, which you can't get no better than a natural food source. So a couple of pop-ups over that. Let's just see if they get the head down that bloodworm. They might make a mistake and pick up one of the hook baits. You never know. And the spot where this is going, that's also got bloodworm present, where it's not as far out, it's quite close in. So I've got my options covered, fishing some at range and one rod closer in, where if I feel the need to put a few catapults of the boilie out, I will do. I've also got some 8mm pellets, which are high leakage ones. They are for the winter months. I know we're not in the winter just yet, but this water temperature is cooling down rapidly. A few more weeks and we'll officially be into the winter sessions. So let's get this bag made, let's get this rod out, get my feet up and chill, see what happens. Keep my eye on this water, keeps doing the same, fishing one rod close in over a bit of boilie. The only thing he's doing different than me, he's fishing them all on the tidy booms, all 3, 2 at range singles, and one catapult range. Same again, pop up on the tiny booms with catapulting his chosen bait out around that. Just close enough in now so you can keep an eye on it. They've had a 3-rod rule now for the colder months from 1st of November until the end of February, to cover all the winter. So why not utilise it? I don't want to put all 3 out on the same spot at range. It's too much line pressure, isn't it? So I'm going to fish this one closer in and away from my area. So if any fish are patrolling in closer in, they might not come in contact with my lines. I.e., obviously if they're coming from the left, they are going to do. But I've sunk the lines down as much as I can because I do like to keep a tight line, and due to the weed, and I've not backleaded on here, as it'll just get plugged up in that siltweed, and I don't want to risk losing a fish. I'd rather risk the chance of spooking a fish than losing a fish where I've hooked. So I'll keep to a relatively tight line on them 2 rods, but I'll fish this quite a distance. It's the distance away where it's being cast to, so hopefully nothing will be coming into contact with them lines if they're coming over this PVA bag rod. So what I'll do now, I'll get this bag made up, I'll get it out, and I'll jump back on a little bit later. So cheers for now. Well, welcome back. Nothing to report, it's rained most of the day continuously. I've had a few pickups from the coots on the single rods. They've not managed to find the bag, which is a good sign, so that's stayed in situ since. It's now just turned 10 o'clock at night. It's been raining all day, the wind's picked up now, pushing right in my face. I can sit with these doors shut on this shed. Just in the middle now of cooking a late night's pasta feast up. Let's see how it goes. Sorry I've not been on much, showing much through the day due to all this rain. There's just been no point, to be honest. Fingers crossed for something happen through the night. Keith's been getting a lot of liners on his close-in rod, which is a good sign, which he's put a bit of bait over that one. I've not heard off from him for a couple of hours, like, you know. No, we're pretty tired with the early get up and stuff, you know. It's exit area, and these dark early nights, they just make you want to go to sleep, don't they? I can't see nothing out there now, it's absolutely pitch black. Get the odd bleep and that, but I just think it's a bit of weed knocking the line or something, you know. You never know. They're fishing fairly tight, so if there is any pressure on the line, you will get you're bound to get the odd bleep in this bit of wind. But fingers are crossed now for the night. I'm gonna get this now. What's bubbling away there in the pan? Some nice fresh pasta, bit of cheese, Italian sauce. I know it's late, but a nice warm meal before you go to bed this time of year. It helps you through the night. Right, I will update in the morning if anything doesn't happen through the night. Obviously, there'll be an update in the morning. See how it goes. Just got to sit and wait now. Let's hope for them real big ones that make an appearance to either me or Keith. It would be nice. I've not noticed anyone else catching. There was a bit of light activity over there, but it looked like it was just coming from the inside of his shed, so I don't think he was playing a fish or anything, you know. It'd be nice to think that he was playing a fish, because at least we know something's having a munch. If one's having a munch I know the rest are going to bounce over a bit of a munch, so don't know what's been out this week, as the Facebook page has been quiet. It was about a week and a half ago, 40 pounder came out of the bay at Common. So the big uns are still about and still slipping up. So let's see what this night brings, and I'll be back on in the morning. Cheers all. Morning. It was a very, very quiet night, that was. Just your bleep, a straddler of weed that had broken up and touching the lines every now and then. Very cold last night and wet. This morning, big change. Sun's out. Coots are out in force. So glad it's only singles I've got out there. I think if I would put any bait out there whatsoever, be sure they'd be all over it. You just wouldn't have a chance. Still a few hours for go. You never know, see what happens. Not heard from Keith since last night, and then I met this brew, nipped to him. He's only a couple of yards from me. See if he's seen anything this morning. Been up and down through the night, seeing if I can hear or see anything, but no, it's been very quiet. Right, I'm off ski for now. Let's hope we can see if one of them little babies down there can produce a good summer. Would be nice. But if not, it's got us out. There's always a chance. Catch you soon. Well, nothing's happened in the last couple of hours. It's coming to the end of the session now. I'm gonna have this coffee and start loading the car up. And that'll be all for this session. Just a 24-hour. Gotta be in it to win it. Cold conditions. But I'll be back. Love this place. Right, so if nothing happens in the next hour, I'll pack away and set the 50-mile trip home. I'll see you on the next vlog. So thanks for tuning in. Sorry there's not much footage to be added to this one due to the conditions, the raining. You know, I don't want to be standing out there filming in the rain. Pretty pointless getting wet at this time of year. Gotta keep yourself warm and dry. Maximise your chance of you need to enjoy it. If you're cold, you're not going to enjoy it. So keep it warm. You know, you can still enjoy yourself whether you catch or not. So goodbye for me for now, and I'll see you soon.